Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth that governs success, a law that is universal, and a principle that never fails. Your attitude determines your altitude. It is not your background, your resources, or even your education that decides how far you go in life. It is the way you think, perceive, and respond to life's challenges. Your attitude is the lens through which you see the world. Two people can look at the same situation. One sees a problem, the other sees a possibility. One complains, the other creates. One gives up, the other grows. What makes the difference? Attitude. Life does not promise smooth roads. Every great person has faced storms, but what kept them rising was their mindset. Obstacles are not meant to stop you. They are designed to strengthen you. A bird does not fight the wind. It uses the wind to soar higher. Likewise, if you shift your perspective, what was meant to break you will build you. Education and skills are powerful, but without the right attitude, they are meaningless. Some of the most intelligent people have failed because of a negative mindset, while others with limited resources have risen to greatness simply because they refuse to be defeated by their circumstances. A right attitude can take you where talent alone cannot. There is a law of elevation. People are drawn to those who uplift, inspire, and bring solutions. If you carry a positive attitude, you will attract opportunities, favor, and influence. The higher you go in life, the more attitude matters. In an airplane, altitude determines the view. The higher you fly, the clearer you see. Likewise, when you elevate your mindset, your vision for life expands and you begin to see possibilities that others miss. If you desire to change your life, do not start with your job, your location, or even your education. Start with your mind. Your thinking shapes your future. If you think like a victim, you will live like one. But if you think like a leader, an overcomer, a solution bearer, then nothing will be impossible for you. Your attitude is the most powerful force shaping your destiny. It is not your family background, financial status, or even your level of education that ultimately determines where you end up in life. While these factors may influence your journey, they do not dictate your final destination. The truth is, your mindset and how you approach life's challenges are the real architects of your future. If you believe you are limited, you will live within those limitations. If you believe you are capable, you will push past barriers that others see as impossible. Your attitude creates the foundation upon which you build your life, either restricting your potential or expanding your possibility. History has shown that individuals who have achieved greatness did not necessarily come from privileged backgrounds. Some of the most successful people were born into poverty, faced rejection, or experienced failures before reaching their breakthrough. What set them apart was their perspective. They refused to let their circumstances define them. Instead, they adopted an attitude of resilience, perseverance, and an unshakable belief in their ability to rise above their challenges. They understood that success is not about where you start, but about how you think, how you respond, and how you persist. Your attitude affects how you see opportunities. A negative attitude blinds you to possibilities, while a positive attitude allows you to recognize doors that others overlook. Two individuals can face the same situation, yet their outcomes can be drastically different based on their outlook. One person may see failure as the end, while another sees it as a lesson. One person may complain about problems, while another searches for solutions. This fundamental difference in attitude determines who stagnates and who rises. Take, for example, a student struggling in school. If the student believes that they are simply not smart enough, they will likely give up, assuming that no amount of effort will change their situation. However, if that same student adopts a growth mindset, believing that effort and persistence can improve their abilities, then they will work harder, seek help, and ultimately improve. The difference is not intelligence, but attitude. Similarly, in the workplace, an employee with a poor attitude may blame their boss, their colleagues, or external circumstances for their lack of progress. Meanwhile, another employee in the same environment may take responsibility for their own growth, develop new skills, and seek ways to add value, eventually earning promotions and opportunities. Attitude also shapes how you handle adversity. No one is exempt from challenges. Life will test you in various ways. Some people allow hardships to break them, while others use those hardships as stepping stones. The same fire that melts butter hardens steel. It is not the fire that determines the outcome. It is the nature of the material. Likewise, life's trials do not define you. Your attitude towards them does. Those who see difficulties as opportunities to grow will come out stronger, while those who focus on their limitations will remain stuck. Another crucial aspect of attitude is self-perception. How you see yourself affects how you carry yourself and how others perceive you. If you see yourself as unworthy or incapable, you will act accordingly, reinforcing those beliefs. On the other hand, if you cultivate confidence and self-belief, you will naturally attract better opportunities, relationships, and success. This is why personal development starts with mental transformation. Before anyone can experience external success, they must first experience internal growth. Your external reality is a reflection of your internal beliefs. Your destiny is not written in stone. It is shaped by the choices you make every day, and your choices are directly influenced by your attitude. A person with a mindset of possibility, gratitude, and determination will always find a way forward, even in difficult circumstances. They will see setbacks as temporary and use them as motivation to keep moving. On the contrary, a person with a negative attitude will always find an excuse to remain where they are, even when opportunities for growth are present. Success is not reserved for a select few. It is available to those who develop the right mindset. Wealth, influence, and achievement do not belong only to the privileged, but to those who refuse to let negativity control their thinking. If you want to shape a better destiny for yourself, start by shaping your attitude. How you think determines how you act, and how you act determines how far you go in life. The difference between those who rise and those who fall is not in their resources, but in their mindset. Your attitude today is creating your future, whether you realize it or not. The way you see the world determines how you live in it. Perspective is the lens through which you interpret life, and it has the power to either limit or elevate you. It is not your circumstances that define your success, but rather how you perceive and respond to them. Two people can experience the same situation, yet one will rise while the other remains stuck. What makes the difference? It is not intelligence, background, or resources. It is perspective. A person who sees challenges as obstacles will live in fear and frustration, while a person who sees challenges as opportunities will find ways to grow and progress. Your perspective shapes your destiny. Life presents us with both problems and possibilities, but what we focus on determines what we experience. A negative mindset magnifies difficulties, making them seem overwhelming and insurmountable. On the other hand, a positive perspective enables us to find solutions and turn setbacks into stepping stones. This is why two people can be placed in identical circumstances, yet their outcomes are vastly different. One may complain, give up, and blame external factors, while the other will adapt, strategize, and find a way forward. Their circumstances are the same, but their perspectives shape their actions and, ultimately, their results. Perspective is not about denying reality, it is about choosing how to interpret reality. A person with a strong and positive mindset acknowledges difficulties but refuses to be controlled by them. They understand that setbacks are temporary, failures are lessons, and problems are simply puzzles waiting to be solved. They do not see rejection as the end of the road, but as redirection towards something better. They do not see delays as denials, but as preparation for something greater. This kind of thinking allows them to remain hopeful, even in challenging situations, and their attitude creates opportunities that others fail to see. History is filled with examples of individuals who changed their circumstances through the power of perspective. Some of the greatest innovators, leaders, and influencers came from difficult backgrounds, but they refused to let their past define their future. Instead of focusing on what they lacked, they focused on what they could create. They saw limitations as opportunities to be creative and resourceful. Instead of dwelling on failures, they saw them as necessary steps towards success. This mindset is what allowed them to turn adversity into advantage. One of the most critical aspects of perspective is how we interpret failure. Many people allow failure to destroy their confidence and ambition. When they face rejection, loss, or disappointment, they assume they are not good enough and they stop trying. However, those with the right perspective understand that failure is not final, it is feedback. Every mistake provides valuable lessons that can be used to improve and grow. Those who embrace this mindset keep pushing forward, knowing that every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. Perspective also determines how we view ourselves. A person who believes they are unworthy, incapable, or undeserving will never step into their full potential. They will reject opportunities, settle for less, and sabotage their own success without even realizing it. However, a person who sees themselves as capable, valuable, and full of potential will walk in confidence, take bold steps, and attract greater opportunities. The way you see yourself affects every decision you make, and those decisions determine your future. The power of perspective extends to relationships as well. Some people look at others with suspicion, envy, or competition, which limits their ability to build meaningful connections. But those with the right perspective see people as collaborators, mentors, and partners in progress. They recognize the value in learning from others and surrounding themselves with people who challenge them to grow. Their positive perspective on relationships opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. Your ability to rise in life is directly connected to how you see the world. If you believe that life is against you, you will always feel like a victim. If you believe that every challenge carries a hidden opportunity, you will always find ways to move forward. The reality you experience is a reflection of your mindset. The more you train yourself to see possibilities, the more opportunities you will attract. The more you focus on solutions, the more creative and resourceful you will become. Your perspective is your greatest asset or your greatest limitation. It all depends on how you choose to see. Adversity is an inevitable part of life. No one is exempt from trials, setbacks, or challenges. The real difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not the absence of hardship, but how they respond to it. Attitude in adversity determines whether a person will rise above their challenges or be crushed by them. Some people allow difficulties to break their spirit, while others use them as a foundation for growth. It is not the storm itself that determines the outcome, it is how you navigate through it. Those who cultivate resilience, perseverance, and a mindset of victory turn obstacles into stepping stones. Difficult times are a test of character. When everything is going well, it is easy to maintain a positive attitude. But when challenges arise, a person's true mindset is revealed. Some people become bitter, angry, or hopeless in the face of trials, believing that life is unfair. Others remain focused, determined, and optimistic, choosing to see difficulties as temporary and surmountable. The difference between these two responses is not the situation itself, but the attitude with which it is faced. A positive attitude does not remove adversity, but it empowers a person to endure, learn, and emerge stronger. One of the most powerful qualities that define those who succeed despite adversity is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, disappointments, and failures. Life does not always go as planned, and even the most prepared individuals will encounter moments of difficulty. However, resilient individuals do not allow setbacks to define them. Instead, they view challenges as opportunities to develop new skills, build inner strength, and refine their vision. They understand that every difficulty carries a lesson, and that persistence eventually leads to breakthroughs. Adversity is also a training ground for mental strength. Just as physical exercise strengthens muscles, challenges strengthen the mind. Those who have never faced difficulties often lack the endurance needed to sustain long-term success. Hardships develop patience, discipline, and creativity. When a person encounters a roadblock, they must either find a way around it or remain stagnant. Those with the right attitude choose to innovate, adapt, and push forward. They develop problem-solving skills that serve them for a lifetime. Another critical aspect of attitude in adversity is perspective. The way a person interprets their struggles shapes their response to them. Some people view adversity as a punishment, a sign that they should give up, or proof that they are incapable. However, those with the right mindset see adversity as part of the journey. They recognize that difficulties refine character, expose weaknesses that need to be strengthened, and prepare them for greater opportunities ahead. They understand that challenges are temporary, but the lessons gained from them have lasting value. History is filled with examples of people who turned their greatest challenges into their greatest triumphs. Many successful entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators faced failures before reaching their breakthroughs. Some lost everything before building their empires. Some were rejected countless times before achieving recognition. What separated them from those who quit was their attitude in adversity. A person's attitude in adversity also influences their ability to inspire and lead others. People are drawn to those who remain calm, optimistic, and solution-oriented in difficult situations. A leader who panics, complains, or blames others will lose credibility, while a leader who remains composed, encouraging, and focused will earn trust and respect. The greatest leaders in history were not those who avoided difficulties, but those who faced them with courage and conviction. Their ability to maintain the right attitude in adversity allowed them to bring others along on the journey to victory. Faith and belief also play a vital role in shaping attitude during tough times. Those who hold on to a strong sense of purpose and vision are more likely to endure hardships. They understand that temporary struggles do not cancel out a greater destiny. They do not allow fear or doubt to take control. Instead, they choose to believe that the difficulties they face are preparing them for something greater. This belief fuels persistence, ignites hope, and keeps them moving forward even when circumstances seem discouraging. One of the greatest lessons adversity teaches is that challenges do not last forever. Many people give up just before their breakthrough because they allow discouragement to overpower their determination. Those who push through difficulties with the right mindset eventually see progress, success, and transformation. The most important thing is not avoiding hardship, but learning how to navigate through it. Adversity will come, but attitude determines whether it will be a stumbling block or a stepping stone. In today's world, education, skills, and professional qualifications are highly valued. People invest years in acquiring degrees, certifications, and technical expertise, believing that these will guarantee success. While credentials can open doors and create opportunities, they are not the ultimate determinant of long-term achievement. Character defined by integrity, discipline, resilience, and a positive attitude plays a far greater role in sustaining success than any certificate or academic qualification. The reality is that knowledge and skills may give a person access to opportunities, but character determines how well they handle those opportunities and whether they can maintain them over time. One of the greatest misconceptions in society is that talent and education alone are enough for success. Many individuals have impressive qualifications, but they struggle in their careers, businesses, and relationships because they lack essential character traits. Employers and business leaders are not just looking for those who have the right credentials. They are searching for people who are trustworthy, responsible, and dependable. A highly skilled individual with a poor attitude, lack of discipline, or dishonesty will eventually lose opportunities, no matter how competent they are. On the other hand, a person with strong character, even if they start with fewer skills, will often rise to greater heights because they earn trust and build a solid reputation. Character is the foundation upon which lasting success is built. Many professionals have lost their positions not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked integrity. A person may be an excellent doctor, lawyer, or engineer, But if they lack honesty and ethics, their reputation will eventually be destroyed. History is filled with examples of talented individuals who fell from greatness due to greed, pride, or irresponsibility. No amount of education can replace the need for honesty, respect, and accountability. Discipline is another essential component of character that outweighs credentials. Success requires consistency, hard work, and perseverance, qualities that are rooted in discipline. A person may graduate from the best university, but if they lack self-control, time management, and a strong work ethic, their credentials will be meaningless. Those who achieve great things are not necessarily the most talented, but the most disciplined. They show up when it is difficult, push through challenges, and remain committed to their goals despite obstacles. Without discipline, even the most gifted individuals will struggle to reach their full potential. Resilience is another critical character trait that separates those who rise from those who fall. Life is unpredictable, and everyone will face setbacks, disappointments, and failures. Credentials cannot shield a person from adversity, but character determines how they handle it. Those with resilience do not give up when things get tough. Instead, they adapt, learn, and keep moving forward. They do not rely solely on their academic achievements, but develop the inner strength needed to overcome difficulties. Many of the world's most successful people failed multiple times before achieving their breakthroughs, but their resilience kept them going. Another aspect of character that surpasses credentials is the ability to work well with others. Success is rarely achieved in isolation. It requires collaboration, teamwork, and strong interpersonal relationships. A person may have the highest qualifications, but if they are arrogant, uncooperative, or disrespectful, they will struggle to build meaningful connections. Those who prioritize character cultivate humility, patience, and emotional intelligence, making them valuable in any environment. Employers and business leaders consistently choose individuals with strong interpersonal skills over those who may be highly qualified but difficult to work with. Character also determines how a person handles power and success. Many individuals start with good intentions but allow success to corrupt them. Wealth, influence, and recognition can expose the true nature of a person's heart. Those with weak character often become prideful, unethical, or careless once they achieve a level of success. However, those with strong moral values remain grounded, responsible, and focused on serving others. They understand that success is not just about personal gain, but about making a positive impact on the world. The most successful and respected people in history were not necessarily those with the most impressive credentials, but those who demonstrated unwavering character. They were individuals who remained honest when it was difficult, stayed disciplined when no one was watching, and showed resilience in the face of failure. Their legacy was not built on their qualifications alone, but on their values, actions, and attitudes. Character is what allows a person to sustain success, build lasting relationships, and leave a meaningful impact. Ultimately, while credentials may get a person through the door, character determines whether they stay in the room. A diploma can be earned in a few years, but a reputation takes a lifetime to build. Education and skills are valuable, but they must be combined with integrity, discipline, resilience, and a strong work ethic. Those who prioritize character will not only achieve success, but will be able to maintain and multiply it, creating a legacy that far outlives any certificate or title. The way you think determines the way you live. Your mindset is the foundation of your actions, decisions, and ultimately your results. Everything you experience in life, your success, failures, relationships, and growth begins in your mind. The thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you hold, and the perspectives you adopt create the reality you live in. A person who sees the world through the lens of possibility, hope, and opportunity will naturally move towards success, while a person who sees only obstacles, limitations, and failure will remain stuck. Your mindset shapes your reality, and your reality reflects your mindset. Many people believe that their circumstances define their future, but the truth is that your mind is more powerful than your environment. Two people can be born into the same situation. One will rise above challenges and create a successful life, while the other will remain trapped by their limitation. What makes the difference? Their mindset. One person sees problems as stepping stones, while the other sees them as barriers. One person believes they are capable of growth and improvement, while the other believes they are destined to struggle. This difference in thinking ultimately leads to a difference in results. One of the greatest truths about success is that it starts internally before it manifests externally. A person cannot achieve greatness if their mind is filled with doubt, negativity, and fear. Your thoughts create the blueprint for your actions, and your actions determine your outcomes. If you constantly think about failure, you will hesitate to take risks and miss opportunities. If you believe you are unworthy of success, you will subconsciously sabotage your own progress. However, if you fill your mind with confidence, determination, and vision, you will naturally take the steps needed to create a successful life. Your mindset also affects your ability to learn and grow. People with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are set in stone. They think intelligence, talent, and potential are predetermined and cannot be improved. As a result, they avoid challenges, fear failure, and resist change. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset understand that abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. They embrace challenges as opportunities to improve, view failure as a lesson rather than a defeat, and continuously seek ways to expand their knowledge and skills. Over time, this mindset leads to greater success and personal fulfillment. The power of the mind extends beyond personal success. It also shapes how a person interacts with the world. A person with a positive and empowered mindset attracts opportunities, strong relationships, and meaningful experiences. They approach life with gratitude, enthusiasm, and confidence, which draws success toward them. In contrast, a person with a negative and self-defeating mindset repels opportunities. Their fear, doubt, and pessimism create a reality that reflects their internal struggles. The world does not respond to what you want, it responds to what you believe. Mindset also influences how a person handles challenges. No one is exempt from difficulties, but those with the right mindset see obstacles as temporary and solvable. They understand that setbacks are a part of the journey, not the end of it. Instead of complaining or giving up, they adjust their approach, seek solutions, and keep moving forward. Their resilience allows them to turn failures into lessons and disappointments into stepping stones. This attitude not only leads to success, but also builds inner strength and confidence. One of the most powerful aspects of mindset is its ability to change circumstances. Many people assume that they must wait for external conditions to improve before they can succeed. But the truth is that transformation begins in the mind. The moment a person shifts their thinking, they open the door to new possibilities. A person who believes they are capable of achieving great things will begin to take actions that align with that belief. Over time, those actions lead to tangible results, proving that what the mind believes, the life achieves. Your mindset also affects your relationships. People who see the world with a mindset of abundance and collaboration build strong and healthy connections. They support others, believe in teamwork, and celebrate success. On the other hand, those who have a scarcity mindset, believing that success is limited and must be competed for, often struggle with jealousy, insecurity, and broken relationships. The way you view yourself and others determines the quality of your interactions and the kind of people you attract into your life. Success is not reserved for a special group of people. It is available to anyone willing to cultivate the right mindset. History is filled with individuals who started with nothing but a strong belief in themselves. They refused to be limited by their circumstances, trained their minds to see possibilities, and took consistent action toward their goals. Over time, their reality changed to match their thinking. This is the power of the mind. Whatever you focus on grows, and whatever you believe shapes your future. Opportunities are everywhere, but only those with the right attitude can recognize and seize them. Life does not randomly hand out success. Opportunities are often disguised as challenges, hard work, or even setbacks. The way a person responds to situations determines whether they would advance or remain stagnant. Many people miss out on life-changing opportunities not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because their attitude blinds them to possibilities. A person with a negative or passive mindset will overlook golden opportunities, while someone with a proactive and optimistic attitude will turn even the smallest chances into something significant. One of the greatest factors that influence opportunities is how a person perceives them. Some people believe that opportunities are rare and only come to the privileged or the lucky. This mindset causes them to wait for success rather than actively seek it. On the other hand, those with the right attitude understand that opportunities are created, not just found. They believe that with the right effort, preparation, and mindset, they can attract and maximize opportunities. This belief fuels them to stay alert, take risks, and persist even when things do not seem favorable. The attitude of gratitude and expectation plays a crucial role in recognizing opportunities. People who are always complaining about their circumstances often fail to see the possibilities right in front of them. They focus so much on what is wrong that they overlook what is possible. In contrast, those who cultivate an attitude of gratitude develop a keen awareness of the opportunities that exist even in difficult situations. They do not wait for perfect conditions. Instead, they make the best of what they have and trust that greater opportunities will come as they remain faithful and diligent. Another major aspect of attitude that influences opportunities is willingness to take action. Many people recognize opportunities but hesitate to act due to fear, doubt, or procrastination. They wait for the right time or perfect conditions, not realizing that hesitation is the enemy of progress. Those who maximize opportunities understand that success comes to those who move quickly and decisively. They do not allow fear to paralyze them. Instead, they step forward even when they are uncertain, knowing that action itself opens doors to more opportunities.